So here's part two. I'm doing it without the music now. I hope it wasn't too loud in the background. I didn't anticipate talking on that video. I was just going to have music on there. And as it went on, I realized I didn't change the setting. So I was trying to talk over the music, and it was still early in the day, so I was trying not to be too loud. So if I wasn't loud enough, I apologize in advance. But this is part two of what we did before, and we're down 2 units. So it's a hell of a battle. And quite frankly, hell of a lot of shoes, right? Hell of a lot of shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 shoes. Bro, that's a lot of shoes. That's not in one day. So, I'd say no less than 2 days and maybe 3, depending how many shoes you have to plan and how willing you're sitting around for new ones to fuck with. And I think that's why people have a hard time staying close to even like this, because things are going badly. You don't want to sit around and wait for a new variable or a new shoe or whatever. You keep trying hard at whatever situation you have at hand, because you're not willing to wait to find out. You need that gratification immediately, and you stay in the fight because you're afflicted with all the stress that you do have that you want to resolve. Maybe you can't. I would say you'd be better off waiting and let things handle themselves over time. Okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. Some days are just motherfucker of a day. Look how that day started. That day started out, first 5 shoes, bananas, great. Then the next 5 shoes weren't. And then you'd have the give and take after that. And that's why we're at a reasonable number right now. We're at a very reasonable number right now. On the critical unit, it's a 2-unit differential. Less than. But closer to 2 than not. So we're going to find, hopefully, I'm going to find for this individual thing that I'm fighting for, a way to come up. And the sad thing is, a number of those shoes that we were playing through where I would just ignore the chop altogether, a number of those chops would have brought us right out of it, but I chose to ignore all the chops, even though it's my favorite thing in the world, because I want to stay vigilant, fighting for the one thing. Training our mind that we're going to ignore all the other stuff to fight for the one thing, and not have our hand in too many pots. Because that'll get you fucked up too. If you're trying to play for too many different things, you're going to find yourself unable to loss recover, because you're just compounding some losses. So we lost our first bet here. Gotta wait for a player. We gotta bet a base. Bet against it for bank. So here we go. And we lost, so we have to add that to the cocksuckery rate, which means now we have to recover 4. Round and round we go, right? What is it? An actual loss of 1,000. So 2 more units, 500 gone. That's why I have a bankroll, guys. You have a bankroll of 40 units, you're only down 4 right now. Less than 4. Follow. You still have 36 units to fight a good fight. And that's all that matters, is you're staying close to even. You know, look how the first 5 shoes went. We know that's out there. We know it is. So it's just a matter of finding the ones where it works. And it's, it's been a pissing match up and down, up and down. So it works enough. But the thing is, it's not always going to. And that's why I post these. Because I want you to understand it's not a sure thing. Nothing is. All you can do is be smart the best you can. And if it doesn't work, you wait for the next chance. Next shoe, next whatever the fuck. We just won, by the way. So now we gotta wait. And we gotta wait for this variance of a playlist. We gotta wait. Otherwise it'd be all over the chop. Chop would have lost. So be it. We're waiting anyway. We weren't involved, so good on us. We weren't involved in it. We're involved in this. Hopefully this works. Negative. So once again, we got a loss recovery. And we got to do it on player. Actually, we don't got a loss recover. Well, we were already up a unit, and we gave it back. So technically, this will get the unit back, if you want to look at it that way. But that unit would already be in my pocket. I wouldn't be looking at that. But there's no way to show that when we're playing in a live game. Natural tie, you cunt. Like, just stole a victory from us. Ugh, 9. Natural 9 tie is the worst when you're on player. Fucking great when you're on bank, but it sucks when you're on player. And of course they dick punch, so we lost another unit. Gotta subtract that, gotta be accountable. Gosh darn it. How much is it exactly? Is it even? Alright, well, there you go. Round and round we go, man. I don't know how many shoes it'll take, because I'm not willing to stay aggressive after I win to each shoe. I'm trying to make sure I keep at least a net of 2 every shoe and reduce the second I get that far so I don't give back all that. Look how long it takes to find a good shoe sometimes. I don't want to win a couple back and then give them right back. That's like, you finally found one that works. You don't want to give them right back. So that's why I say reduce after you win the first 2 criticals and just figure it out. First we gotta find it. I feel like the AI listens to me and it tries to make shoes just do the opposite of whatever I'm playing for in the moment. Like, fine, we'll fuck you up. Watch this. See, it's all chopped. It's doing everything but what I want it to do. Okay, so here's an opportunity for banker. Didn't work. Great. So now I gotta wait for a chop and bet against it. There it is. And I got a bet player this time. I win. So we're back to even. So now I'm waiting again. There's a second player, so all I need is this to stay choppy. And go banker so I can go player. Well, 1-3 player. Good. I'm just waiting for a bank now. There it is. Bet player. I got a 6 and I win. So there's 1 unit back. Now I wait. Now I need another chop so I can bet against it. There it is. I bet against it. And I suck it. So I wait. I gotta find a player. There it is. I gotta bet bank. This will get it back. And I win. So now I wait. I'm waiting for something to come down to, first of all. There it is. Wait for a chop. There's a natural player. Now I bet against it. And please let me get the double unit. Yes! We beat that natural 8 with a 9. So, okay. Listen, it's been a minute since we were happy about something. I gotta take the good stuff when it's there. Bank still hasn't gone 3. That could help us. So there's 2. Unfortunately, that's not where we want to bet yet. Let's see if it does in fact chop. Yep, sure did. See? Weak side video series. That would have worked here 3 times in a row. Never win 3 bank, but that's not what we're playing for. We're playing for this. We gotta reduce because we already got 2 units this video. Shoe. So I gotta reduce to the black chip and see how many of these we can win now. But nay, it went 2 players, so I gotta wait for a chop. There it is. Now I gotta bet. No, I don't. I gotta wait. It's not a chop. It was 3 player. Now it's a chop. So now I got a bad player. And hopefully I don't lose what I did. But we made 750 for that. So we add that to our running total. And we are back to 1670. Not bad. Certainly manageable. So now we got to get off this shoe, go to a new one. Tell the dealer not to hurt us. We're having a rough day. Isn't that quaint? Damnation. What in the literal fuck's going on here? I don't know how I'm at an even number. Oh, because I never won. That's why. I lost an even 5 both times. So, I gotta... Did I do that right? No, I did that wrong. I did a plus, not a minus, sorry. Oh yeah. Brutal, right? I know. Literally, I would need like 3 shoes in a row to win at least 2 right away off the bat just to get this even. And up less than a unit. But it could happen. And the only thing that's mitigating that is the fact that I reduce and go with the black chips after that, and then I give away part of said profit. But I want to take it if it's there. I'm not going to jump off a good shoe. So that's why we do that. But by reducing, we minimize the amount of give back that we do. So let's try to move this along here. I want to show we can do this on part 2 here. Hell of a fight, though, right? You see why I'm saying you can't be greedy. And it's like I said, even if you have a rough start to the day and you find a way to come up, but you're not even up 2 full critical units, if you're up 470, fuck, man. That's amazing. I mean, what is it? Like 13.5 a month if you did that every day? Fucking sick money. Sick money. And you gotta be okay with that. We're not here to break the balls. We're here to get out with a victory of some amount every single day. And as long as you're doing that, you're doing okay. Look at this chop. 5 direct off the rip. 6 even. Wow. See why I hate missing out on chops? 7 now. 8? 8 fucking direct chops off the rip. I'm just not even playing it. I'm playing for this other strategy, right? It's fucking mind-numbing that you can allow yourself to sit out of that. It's over now, but that was a good chop. No one would have cared after that point, when it lost, just counting your money. Oh, that's 5 though. Brad got him. Alright, so now we gotta get it. We gotta get that player. Fortuitous tie. Hopefully we get this. Yes. Yes, we did. So now we wait. And we need a bank. Now we need a player for the win. Come on, let it happen. It's never gone to bank until... No, it still didn't. Good. So we got 2 of them. You know? What do we need? We need 5 altogether. Give or take. So... there's our second player. We're waiting for a bank. Then we can bet player. Gotta reduce. We already got 2 this video. This shoe. Well, it's a good thing I reduced. Guess what? We've been through enough dog shit shoes. Players dominant. No, John. We're not going to do that. We're not. We're going to stay with what this video is supposed to be. But normally, I would see that and I'd want a bet player here. Because banks never come down. But nothing has. So that means nothing. I'm glad I listened to myself. Because look, I went 3 bank. These are the things that you have to fight yourself on. Don't tell yourself things can't happen or because they can't. If you were on it the whole time, then great. But if you weren't, it's too late. Okay? So I'm glad I waited for the actual system we're playing with right now. That's what I mean. You can't have yourself fighting for 2 different variables. Because you're increasing the chances of a cocksuckery event to fuck you up. You've been doing well enough. Look at where we are. Right? Doing more than well enough. We've got 2 of those already back. So we're going to try now to stay in the fight here with the little stuff. Right? Yeah, we're on the little stuff. Hopefully the little stuff can win. It didn't. No big deal. So we add that 800 to the total. No problem. We'll go to a new shoe. There we go. Well, closer to 4 than 2, but still not bad. Wins are wins, man. So we refresh. Man. Give me a second here. I'm going to have to pause this. There we go. Now I refreshed. And we deal the cards. It's funny how many of these shoes start out choppy, isn't it? Alright, there's 2. Okay, here we go. Got him. Come on! All those 9s. We get a double 9 for 8, but they get a queen 9 for a 9. I hate that shit. I especially hate that shit on the first bet of the shoe, whatever we're going to do. You know? Fucking patient to do something. You think you got it, and then you lose anyway. But there we are. Just gotta wait for another opportunity. As soon as it goes player. Come on. So I gotta bet bank. Ain't that a bitch, right? Ain't it? It's damnation. That's what it is. Fuck. I'm supposed to go to a new shoe. Sorry. Just aggravated. has that feeling of like being 1-7 in a fantasy league. That's what it feels like. I've never been that. But I can imagine this is what it feels like. No matter what you do, you can't win. Okay. Let's see. God damn, man. I'm admittedly nervous now. This might be hard to fix. I don't know. Maybe this will be a 3-part. I don't know. All right. Hopefully the player will bring it back. Got it. So we wait for another opportunity. Here it will be. Not yet. Will be soon. Not yet. Not yet. Still not yet. Oh, that's a banker. So we're going to try this. Oh, ties all over the joint. Oh, it's only 2. Felt like more than 2. I thought some of those were ties. I just knew they weren't bankers. Well, beat the bet. That's a tie. Damn, man. I'm getting tied on some good hands today. Look at this. What the fuck? Triple tie. Alright. Well, here we go. Now I win. Alright, so we're up a unit, that shoe. What else can happen here? Oh, for goodness sake. Wow, really? Still going. Okay. Please work. Oh, the damnation. Now I need another chop. Now I need bank. Fuck you. Fuck you. So now I gotta subtract another 5. Damn, these fucking bullshit ties. Fucking ties. Fuck. You know how long it's gonna take to fix this? I'm gonna be here all day. I gotta call my car insurance and shit I gotta do today. I don't have fucking time for this. So I gotta go to another shoe. You know, this would be a multiple day effort. It would. And you'd be down 6 units of bankroll. Cumulatively, you'd be down 6 units of bankroll trying to get this done. I don't know how much time I'd have in my life to try to get that done. But this is why we practice. We need to see everything. We need to know its hit rate, I guess, as it were. Like, why did I refresh the shoe again? Okay, well, here we're going to look. I got to burn the cards. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine like fighting this fight and staying this close to even for 3-4 days in a row. That would drive me nuts. But it could happen, you know? And gosh, maybe going for 2's too many. I don't know. Because think about it, like even if I just won the 1 critical unit a day, that'd still be a lot of money on a daily basis. You win one purple a day and have 15G in a month. You tell me you're not going to be satisfied with that? Dana White said it best. You go in, you win you have $500, and you win $500. Get the fuck out of there. You won. He's right. He's 100% right. You already won. What are you trying to do? You trying to win $1 million? You won't. I guarantee you won't, he says. And he's not wrong. There's no way you're doing that in a visit anyway. But when it's good, it's good. When it sucks, it looks like this. So, I don't know, fellas. I need the banker here. We're in a lot of trouble. It's hard when you know what you're down to stay in the fight when you have to try again. You know, it is. But, you know, I won, thank goodness. But it's like, feel like you always gotta be 100 and never fail, not even for an instant. It's very stressful. You're putting your fate completely in luck. You know, you're trying to play smart. You're trying to wait for a variable. You know, you're not betting all 80 hands of the shoe. You're betting maybe 10, maybe 12 if you played the whole thing out. You're only doing it in 2-hand increments when an opportunity bet presents, like right now. But first we gotta wait for a bank, and then we gotta bet against it. That's not a bank. That's why we wait. That's not a bank either. That's why we wait. And that's a bank. So now we got a bad player. And hold on to our nuts. And pray they don't get snatched. And we win. Good. It's nice to win once in a while. Fuck. So now I gotta wait. And that is a bank. So we gotta wait. Second bank. Third bank. Opportunity bets on deck as soon as a player come out. So just won't do it. So we're killing all these strong banker hands. Now we need a bank. What do we have? 1 unit? Okay, we can still get one more crit. Tie 9s, thank goodness. And we got fucked anyway. Great. So now we gotta wait for a fucking... And we gotta do this. And that's just gonna get us the unit back. We win. Great. Backup unit. Like, it's hard to get excited because I'm just flat betting. But it's safe. Safer. Safe-ish. Need 2 player. Need 2 bankers. There's 2 bankers. I just need a player to bet banker. Oh, fuck. There it is. So here we go. Be a lot more fun if this worked. Okay. You gotta wait for bank. You gotta bet player. Alright. I lost again. Maybe this won't be high on my tier list. Because it's hurting my feelings. I lost 2. Fortunately, I won 1 first. So it only was a net of a 1 unit loss. But still, totality of that is another 525. So we got to put that on here. it's frustrating, right? It really, really is. But I know as much as this app's cheating, it's eventually going to start doing the other stuff. It has to. Sorry. I had a distraction. Can't afford that kind of time equity loss. I hope you had it on like advanced speed or something, because I don't mean to just waste your time. This player run, wow. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Good, another pair. Need a bang. Player shoe to be certain, huh? Well, this is gonna suck. So it looks player strong, and one of the chops we have to bet banker. Never mind. I'm still gonna have to bet banker once I get a player here. This accountability is next level shit. Damnation. 2 whole videos. And with the critical unit being what it is, that's what I'd be down. You know? If I break it down in the units, I'm down a little under 7 units. But the money's still the money. It does hurt my feelings. So I tried not to be emotional and just go to another shoe and expect eventually I'm going to find a magical unicorn that's going to allow me to fix that. Because the second I start playing for something else, this is going to work. I'll tell you right now. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I'm going to have to take care of some real life stuff real soon here. So I need something to fucking start working for me here. Need a color change. Player. Okay. Well, there's one, right? There's one. Now, I know we've been stopping on 2 crits, but we're down 6. So what I propose is this. We're going to go for 3 crits. So if we get to 2 and we go for another one and it loses 1, we're just going to keep the 1 and leave. I'm not going to allow it to go all the way back. First, we need something to actually stop chopping. Like, come on, stop doing this to me. Should I just... Now I know how run players feel. Okay, so we need a player to bet against. Like, you'd be hating your life on all these shoes, never coming down hardly. It's that time. It's that time. Or I could parlay it. But no, I'm going to stick with the base. And we're going to do this. No, maybe I should have parlayed. C'est la vie. So now I got to wait. And I got to wait. Still got to wait. Still got to wait. And that's... Wait. Wait. Strike. Please stay chopping now, damn you. Kind of knew that was going to happen because player wasn't going 3, but 2 even. Well, fuck him. I'll wait for another time. Do it again. Alright, we're going to try this. Alright, so we basically lost $25 for that shoe. Pity. Alright, whatever. Loss is a loss, though. So, we're done with that shoe at win 3. So, it's shameful, but that's what happened. So, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sit up. Damnation. No more. Yeah, it wasn't a 2, it was just a 1. Still damnation. Like, bro. we're getting to a level now of shoes in a row that just didn't work to the point where I'm actually considering parlaying it to fix it. I am. But only if the first one works. I don't want to do it on the second. Why am I still on this? Like, I think the worst part is this part 2 is already at 40 minutes. This isn't hardly watchable. Damn it. Alright. You know, I hope I can get this to work. I don't know. But it's going to require being right on the first try. Otherwise, I'm giving potential profits back. And I don't want to do that. It's a crazy thing to try for. But I really want to be right. So I'm going to hope this 2-1, 2-1 is a thing. I'm going to parlay it, guys. But if I'm wrong, I'm giving back a unit of profit. And that's a choice I'm making. It's a one time. Buck. Right? Fuck right, it's right. I'm going to do the 2 unit again. It lost. So fuck. Sometimes it feels really easy. Sometimes it feels the world's against you. You're seeing the progression of emotion. Okay? At some point, you have a stop-loss point, right? And if you continue to play past your stop-loss point for that, you start doing what I'm doing now. And you just want to be like, I've had enough of your bullshit. I'm going to go on the offensive. Well, what if said offensive doesn't work? You know what I mean? What if it doesn't fucking work ever? You could be in a lot of trouble real quick. Start with the 2 units. But I just need something new. It's hard when even the wins don't matter because you're just replacing your prior loss, especially when they're critical wins. Here we go. We have a shot here. If it stays choppy, we have a shot here. We do. Needed to go 2 of something first. That ain't 2. That is. Now we just need a bank. Now we need the player to work. We're going to mitigate the parlay. We started with 2. So now we're not going to do 4. We're going to do 3, right? We're going to keep one of those. Effectively making this a one-chip effort. And hopefully it just fucking works. So we lost 6. But we're still in the fight because it has not gone 3. It has not gone 3 side by side yet, so we have one more chance to stay in the fight. Need a chop. We need a chop before we can proceed. There it is. Hopefully we can win this. Whew. Lucky. I know. 7 never win though, man. Alright. We gotta sit out a minute. This kind of mentality is how people lose money sports betting. You know, everything loses a leg of the parlay. No matter what they do, they just didn't win. So then they're trying harder the next set of games. And then you're playing the Sunday night game. And then you're playing the Monday night games. What are you really doing at that point? Get your mind right. You're betting on games you wouldn't normally bet on. You know what I mean? Be careful out there. I gotta wait for a banker. I like showing the bad though too. I don't get too many videos where I get to show the bad, because a lot of the stuff I use works. But I'll tell you what, it only takes one bad night to undo a whole lot of good nights if you stay at it hard enough. You know. And it's important to remember that. I'm here to help. I'm not here to blow smoke up anyone's ass to tell you that everything's going to work if you just stick with it. Because no, sometimes just not your day, bro. Sometimes it ain't your day. You're better off coming back another day and trying again, rather than just let them keep taking it to you. Ever feel like they engineer shoes just to beat you specifically? I know I do. So here we go. Where are we at here? Second effort. Fuck. I'm gonna do 2 on player. And hopefully we can catch the first one here. Now, second effort. Okay. Oh, natural tie. Okay, here we go. So, banker. Well, I'm at 48 minutes again. And no matter what I've done, I can't win. I have to subtract that. So that's, that is, 1650. Because I'm increasing it, right? Oops, that's not correct. It's because I increased it. Desperation. Now, I know I'm doing this with the expectation that I have a $20,000 bankroll, but guys, that is a 1/3 damage right there, and that is a lot of money. I don't care who you are. That is a 1/3 damage. It didn't have to be that high. First of all, it's that high because I'm trying to parlay it to get it back. I just can't find one good shoe to get it all fixed, you know. But I do have the capital to support what I'm trying to do right now, so we're all in on the parlay mitigation fix here. So we're gonna find one good shoe. We're gonna get it done. Increase my brightness here a little. Let's get this done. I need one good shoe that never goes through 3 on the second, and it's over. But how many days are you going to fight to find that? You're going to go to home and go to bed and get up the next day and think you're going to find it. You might not. And that's the stuff I want people to understand. But, you know, you might decide you're going to go in the next day and play for something different. And then the stuff you were trying to fight for the day before is working the day that you didn't fight for it. Ain't that the bitch? The thing that you wanted to work the day before, now it's working all day long and you're not playing for it, right? I want to believe I'm not a cunt. And I want to prove that I can get this done, but I'm not going to do it stupidly. The first one didn't work. As soon as it goes bank, I got a bad player. Now, they're side-by-side runs, so that's of concern. I think I got to flat bet the minimum. If we ever get a banker. If we ever get a banker. Okay. I'm going to do a 1-2. I'll do 2. Lost it. Lost it. Right off the beginning of the shoe, we're done. What are we fucking doing right now, right? What are we doing? I'm really upset. This is why we practice, you know? Because don't tell yourself that this wouldn't happen in real life, because it can. Okay? Trust me. So, 5 bank. Alright, here we go. Let's start with 2 units. I win. Alright, so I'm hanging in there. I'm going to wait. I need a double player. Got it. Unfortunate is... Oh, good. I'm glad it went 3, so it proved it can. Now when it goes bank, I got a bad player. Oh, good. Another player. Good, good, good. Player has some strength after all. All right, there's the banker. So, we won 1,000 with the first opportunity bet. So I'm going to take 500 of that profit, put it to the side. I'm going to roll the rest and hope that it works. Hope in finger quotes, but here we go. Fuck it. Of course it is. So, instead of being up or back to even, we're down a unit. Now if we lose this, we're down 3. Come on. Even an ace, I win that hand. I'd win 1/0. I get another 0. God. That's the setup, right? That's the setup for that. That's the setup for the fuck you hand. That's a fuck you hand. Damn, man. It's going to take a lot of something to fix this. So that is another 15.50. Yeah. Boy, it's been a minute since I got fucked up this bad, huh? Look at that. That's why we're down. I show both, right? No bullshit, man. I show both. I'll try one more shoe here. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to start a new video because we're already at an hour again. It's going to be a hell of a series now. Hell of a series now to show I can get this done. Alright, let's see if it goes 2-player. Let me tell you, starting with this much, if I can get a mitigated parlay to work, it's going to fix it very quickly. But even that, I'll have to back it down at some point. After all that. Jeez. Tie. Cunt. Player. Tie. Banker. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, fellas. It's a 4-unit bet. I take no solace in that. I know what it is, guys. But I know what my bankroll is. And I have to immediately reduce from that now. So, look at this chop. This chop would have made you money. This chop would have made all my money back, actually. All these chops combined and all these shoes. You see how many times it's not going 3? I almost want to just make a whole new chop series to vindicate what I'm doing here. But I'm going to play the game the way I'm supposed to. Even though this chop would have made $1 million. Look at this. It's still chopping. You see why I like the chop? Honestly, guys, the chop's the best thing in the world. It just works more than it doesn't. Look at this. It's never gone 3 the entire shoe. I was supposed to bet there. I'm so bent. I would have lost 2, actually. I'm not even going to count that shoe. I'm not going to count it win or lose. It's just stupid. I'm so bent looking at the chop that I'm not even paying attention to the wagers. And I'm not making any bets. So I can't even quantify. So I'm just going to start over. Fucked up, though. That shoe may have never went 3 all the way across. But I can't even look at it because I wasn't betting for it. And I'll tell you what. If I sat out all those hands because I'm going to just wait for the system that I'm presently playing for, I would be angry at myself. Head in my hands, angry that I'm not on all those free W's. C'est la vie. But if I started playing for that, the opposite shit would happen. I swear that's what this game fucking does. Just tortures me. The horror. Alright. Let's see what we can do with this one. Alright, so I'm going to do 3, right? Yeah, because we did 2 the first time, right? Yeah. So we're going to mitigate the parlay and keep one of them in front of us. And here we go. Well, it's been a minute since that worked, huh? So, wait. I'm actually hoping I don't have to make the critical bet on player next time because I don't see how many of these are going to work. Well, bad news. We're going to have to do it on player, but it might work. First, we got to get a bank to bet against. Great. We're just going to use up all the great player hands. The second we got a bet player, we're going to get 0. Like that. Hopefully we don't get the 0. 2,500. All right. Well. We pull another 500 out and we do the 2,000. If we lose now, we still made a 500. If we win, well, guess what? Jubilation. But that's why we can't have nice things. So, I gotta wait. And that's what I was scared of. I knew eventually we were gonna get a second bank. Maybe I should have parlayed that one, but I'm here to win, so. All right, here we go. This will keep us in the game. Just hate my life. Let's see if it would have kept going second. You bastard. Anyway, we lost 1,000. Gotta subtract that. I gotta wait. I mean, this is getting expensive. This needs to work soon, right? On a 20K bankroll, this needs to work soon. Playing like this. The flat bet's almost been eliminated because I'm parlaying. There's only so much I can risk on the first investment here. It worked this time. So now I gotta wait. Gotta wait. Chop again. Look at this chop now. See what I mean? I'm telling you, chop's where it's at. I just... fortitude it takes for me to ignore all these chops. Alright, we need a chop here. Now we need it to stay choppy just one more fucking time. When we actually want to bet for it, will it actually stay choppy? I'll bet you it won't, because it's just like last year. We had 4 single banks and the 5th one came down. It's almost by design, right? Well, fuck that shit. We're gonna win. We want the ball, we're gonna score. Otherwise, we're down a unit. The bet is for player. The bet is correct. So now we wait. We're going to start over. I'm going to start it over with the base because I'm scared that some going to go 2 bank. And then I'll do the difference on the next one. So we do that. No, I could have parlayed it again. Ain't that a bitch? It is. But that's okay. It's good to be safe. We've made 3,000 this shoot. There's nothing wrong with that. Guess what? We're going to have to do the base again. Because I don't trust this bank not to come down one of these times. So I'm going to just do the base. And it won again. I could have parlayed it to the ceiling. You see why I'm upset now? The time that you don't go for it is the time it would have kept working. I would have got all the money back. I would have flipped that for 6. And then I would have taken a piece out and flipped the whatever. I could have flipped 4 for 8. It would have been 14,000. All right there. Just not being selfish and taking money out. Just working with, a minimal amount to start with, flipping it and taking a piece out. If it doesn't work, you're only missing 1. But if it works, you beat their ass. I just couldn't quantify all those single banks, you know what I mean? It's 7 single banks in a row. That is not going to continue. But we won nonetheless. We won something, so I know that matters. But look at all the hell we've been through. Oh, God, another second player, which means gotta bet against bank again when it comes out. And if it only goes single bank, I'm going to be so upset that I didn't do more. These are the things that you have to guard against, though, because if you don't put your pride to the side, you're going to try too hard at the worst time, and you're going to lose it all. So, I won again. Fuck. I'm mad that I keep winning because I didn't bet enough. Hate that. I fucking hate that. But that's what we came back up. And we're over an hour again. But that's what we came back up. And literally this should have been 5 numbers. But I can't help that now. That's the choice I made, to be a pussy. So we're going to be a pussy one more time. And that time was the right time. So now we got to wait for a color change and bet for bank of all things. Oh, will bank go for? No. So. Don't take a drink of anything right now. Because this is going to surprise you. Matter of fact, let's not do that. Let's keep a piece of it. Because of commission, right? Fuck the commission. We're just going to win. If we don't, we're back to even. Has to work the first try. It's never not worked the first try. That's the other thing. And this is the first instance of the banker needing to be the winner, not the player. Even more scary. Second player's hit 4 out of 5. And this would be 5 out of 6. So there's a lot of things to consider. But the system calls for this. So I'm going to do this. And I got him. I fucking got him. Damn, bro. Every single time it chopped after a 1 come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This was the shoe that would have fixed everything. But I chose to be a pussy and reduce. I was being careful. I know. I don't give myself enough grace, ever. But this is the one that would have been amazing. So what I've been trying to find for the last 2 fucking hours. Plus. Anyway. Well, here we are again. Except now players decide that jumping. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do 1. This is good enough. You know what I mean? One of these are eventually going to go side by side, and I don't want to get hurt after I just accomplished all that. Yep, see it? There it is. So, that's good. I can write that off when I made all that. So now I wait for another color change, and then I bet for player. They are starting to come down a little bit, aren't they, though, right? It's concerning. But let's see here. Oh, Brad's up. Brad lost 2. Kind of like my chances with this one here. We made 63. I will risk 2,300, Alex. No, can't do that. I'll do 2. Natural. I made almost 10G this shoe. What are we actually down? 11. Well, fuck me, we did it. We're so close now. It's palpable. I could go for the kill shot, but I could get fucked. Let's just reduce to the little stuff one more time. Little stuff now is the purple. That's hilarious. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for 1. Good play. So now we wait for a bank and bet the player. You ready for this? First of all, that's a lot of come downs. So it's airing better to the streak than what it did back here. And isn't it funny how it's often a tale of 2 shoes? It starts all chop. Now it's all runs. With some sporadic runs of 3 chops in between, which mean nothing. So, a little concerning there. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I think I can. I got a natural. I made $10,325 on that shoe. Starting with the 1 to 2 unit bets. And just swinging where it made sense. And if it lost, I still would have kept about 4,000 or 5,000. That's incredulous. So the shoe's not over. It hasn't gone 3 side by side on the second. The question becomes now, how much would you do? Because you've had an incredible come up. You don't want to fuck it up. There is no reason to. We're basically back. I mean, we'll subtract it at the end here and see how close we are, but we're very close. We're within striking distance of 2 units to being even, and that's considerably amazing given what we went through. Had to use the parlay, no doubt about that, but it got there. And you can turn the little stuff into big stuff. Let me tell you, I used to turn $15 bets into $480 by flipping it 5 times. 30, 60, 120, 240, 480 off of dust. Maybe a third of a gas tank for some people, half a gas tank for me. But I would turn that into half a G. And if I lost, it didn't feel like it was anything to lose it because it was $15 fucking, right? But if I could get something to work 5 times in a row, that's what would work. Well, that's what worked here. You had 1 instance, 2 instance, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then finally it would have lost on the 7th if you were a cunt and took it that far. I'm not saying to take it that many times. But it went 6 before it failed on a jump, on a parlay. And you just need one good shoe like that to make your day, you know. And I knew one of these was coming. If I was able to hang in there with the bankroll and not just fucking Let's continue. I'm not here to pat myself on the ass. I know I fucking did bad before that, but I know how to survive. So here we are. We have a come down and a jump. So we're gonna reduce to the little stuff and just see what we can take now. I don't have to try hard no more. Glad we didn't. It lost. So now I gotta wait for another jump and we try a flat bet one more time. We'll get that back and move forward from there. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We'll subtract the difference. But I hope it works. It worked. So back over 10 again. And just wait. Does anything want to go to? There it is. We almost made it through the whole shoe without it going 3 across on the second. We're at 63 hands. That's how I realized I could work with that, right? I was able to identify what actually happened here. Well, never went 3 on the second. Well, why don't I bet for that on a 1-2 effort? So I started doing it. And this is what we're seeing. This is how it works when it works. And you look at the long view of that shoe looks like a fucking motherfucker of a shoe. No matter what you try to do, chop or otherwise, nothing lasted forever, right? But if you're just playing for this one variable, you're never losing the whole shoe on a 1-2 effort. Never. And you're burning a lot of hands. You're staying out of a whole lot of action that you don't have to worry about being involved in because it doesn't fucking matter. You need the hands that matter. Singletary said it best. I want the winners. I want winners. And we're going to get a winner right here. And we tied. So we try again. We get a natural. Yes. Yes, we did. So we won. You get off a shoe like this, you better do the suck it dance in front of them. Left and right. Little over here, little over there. Suck it. And we wait for 2. There's enough people who don't believe in me. I don't care. I show both. I'm going to show you if you have a bankroll. There's good and there's bad, and there's good and there's bad in life. There's this and that. There's red and there's blue. There's black and there's white. You just got to be able to stay in the fight. You just got to be able to be there long enough to come back up. And as soon as it goes bank here, we're going to try to come up one more. There it is. We're going to put the player out there. And we get another natural 9, and they can suck our dick. That is now a $11,275 shoe. And that puts us back in the black. After all that cocksuckery. Bro, I don't want DoorDash on. Get this off my screen, bro. Sorry. So that's fucking incredible, right? And like I said, if you're able to win and you're able to mitigate the parlay, lifting it up, you're preventing from giving it all back in one fell swoop, you know. Once you're able to stack it up, you start over from the base and you just see what you can milk them for. This is ambitious. This shoe's gone a long time with nothing going 3 side by side on the second. I'm going to try again. At this point, when it loses, it loses. I don't care. Because I've made so much, it doesn't matter now. I lost. No big deal. I got one more chance. And then it'll be a shoe. So, or I might run out of shoe. I might not even get to use a second chance. Which is fine. Save me money. I don't care. Alright, second chance is presented. If this doesn't work, I'm still going to have made $10,225. In one motherfucking shoe. I won. I fucking won. Eat a dick. So I won. All I did was get back the prior loss, but I'm floating. We're at hand 81. That shoe's over. I can't imagine. I mean, the shoe's over. You want to just see? I'm not going to bet anything. Let's just see what happens the rest of that shoe. Second bank. So you would need a chop here to bet again. That was the last hand. This in question would be the last hand. Effectively, this would call for a bet for bank, but because it's the last hand, I need 2 chances to win. This only gives me 1 chance to win, so I'm not going to bet. But let's just see. Look at this shoe. Let's just see if that would have won. If you were on bank. Let's just see. I'm not going to bet it, but let's see if it would have won. No, it would have lost. See what I mean? That's why if it gets to the end of the shoe and I've only got one chance to bet, I don't bet it. I need at least a chance to loss recover the one hand. If I don't, then I don't bet it. So that was great. And that's our balance. So let's add that new balance to what was left. And I think we should be right around plus 1 or 2 units. Let's see. So that's 11,250. And Jesus H, we're like right at even. But that's the facts. That's where we're at, man. Fucking crazy. And it's only because I got a parlayable shoe. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. But I show both. I show the good and the bad. You get one where it works. You can fix it. I was into the second half of my bankroll to get it done. But I got it done. And I know that's a lot of mental anguish to go through to look at all that. I'm not going to do another show. I got to stop the video. That's an hour 20 minutes. I'm going to do a part 3 here. And we're going to see if we can't make it come up now from even. Again. I've done enough videos where it wins right away. I've done enough where it's a struggle bus. But that shoe right there at the end of that video was amazing. If you managed to watch this far, you were rewarded for that.